Mrs. Claus here. Hi. It's so nice to see all of you. Thank you for coming back and listening to my stories. This particular story I'm going to tell you today takes place very close to Christmas, just like it is now. And it takes place in a very, very cold part of the United States. And in this very cold part of the United States is a lovely little town with lots of families. And this one particular family loved to get ready for Christmas. They loved to put up decorations. Well, Mom of the family took her children in to the general store, and she bought a manger scene. It was a lovely manger scene, and she took the big box home with her, and they unpacked the big box, and they pulled out Mary and Joseph and the hay and the manger and the cows, and she realized that she had 2 Jesuses in her manger box. Well, this distressed her because she realized that somebody else in their town would be missing Jesus in their manger box. Right away, she got one of her children and she said, "You need to go down to the general store. I want you to tell the manager what happened, that we have an extra Jesus, and I want you to give him our number, 3151, and have anybody who comes, buys a box, and has no Jesus in it, to please call us, and we'll get their Jesus for them." Well, the children put on their clothes and their boots and everything, and they trudged out, and they went down to the general store, and they told the manager that. So the manager put little signs all over the manger boxes saying, "If you're missing Jesus, please call 3151, and you will find Jesus there." So day after day passed. Nobody else called. Somebody had to be missing Jesus in their manger box. But again, nobody called. Until it became Christmas Eve, and then the mother got really, really worried. What if people are missing Jesus from their manger? They need to have Jesus in their manger. And her husband had been hearing this all week long, and he looked at his wife and he said, Honey, there are manger boxes all over the United States of America. They sell these in Florida. They sell these in Texas. They sell them in Arizona. They sell them in California. They sell them in Washington. Jesus could be missing in any of those states. Please, relax. Don't worry about it. I'm going to take the extra Jesus and put him back in the box. Oh, no, the whole family was in uproar. How could you put the extra Jesus back in the box? He needed to stay in the manger with the other Jesus, the real Jesus. The father gave up. His family won. And you know the old adage, you want to make your wife happy and have a good marriage? Keep your wife happy. And he was doing his best. Anyway, it was 5 o'clock on Christmas Eve. And the wife looked at the husband and said, I need you to go down to the general store, and I need you to look in the window and see if there's any boxes of mangers left. And if there isn't, I know that somebody will be calling us on Christmas Eve about Jesus. Oh, the husband just looked at her. But he knew he had to keep her happy. So he put on his boots, he put on his coats, and the children wanted to follow as well. So they all bundled up and they went out into the negative 15-degree weather, and the wind was whipping up, and it was really cold. And they actually walked to the store because it was right down the street from them. Well, the children were getting there much quicker than Dad was. And they looked in the window, and they looked, and they looked, and there was no more manger scenes left. Dad, they're all gone. They're all gone, Dad. You don't have to come down. They're all gone. So all of them trudged back to the house. And they got back to the house, and the mother wasn't there. And there on the table was a note saying, I've gone out on an emergency. So the father said, well, everybody go take your clothes off while I wrap your mother's Christmas present. And just as he started wrapping the present, the phone rang, and it was his wife. And she was calling from a house that was kind of far away from theirs. She said, honey, I need you to gather the children. I need you to go into the refrigerator. I need you to bring a bottle of milk. I need you to bring the cookies in the shelf. And I need you to bring 5 blankets with you right now. And she gave him the address on Chestnut Road, which was very far away. Well, it's Christmas Eve. He didn't know what to do, so he gathered the children. They gathered everything she had asked for, and they trudged through the negative 15 degree weather all the way down to the house on Chestnut. Well, when they got to the house, it was dark. There were no lights around. It was in a very dark part of town. And they opened the door, and they went inside, and they looked inside, and they saw three little children. They were all huddled, and they were shivering. And they saw a mother. And then his wife came running up to him and said, all right, honey, thank you. Give me the blankets. All right, children, you take the blankets and you cover these lovely children here. And she took the milk and the cookies and she went into the kitchen. Well, the father sat down and he started talking to the mother of the children who were shivering. And she explained to him that her husband had left all of them, that he had taken everything with him, and that they were doing okay until the heater broke, and that's why they were freezing. And she worked as a cleaner. She would clean the stores and she'd clean houses, and one of the stores that she cleaned happened to be that general store. And every day when she went in to clean the general store, she saw the sign that said, if you're missing Jesus, please dial 3151. Then she looked at the father and said, well, I'm not really missing Jesus, but you seem so kind, this family that would look for Jesus and want to give him to somebody, that I figured that you'd be nice enough and you can help me. So I called and I talked to your wife and I told her that I wasn't missing Jesus, but my heater was broken. I just didn't have any money to fix it. And would she be able to help me? Well, at that moment, Mama came back in to the living room, and she had warm milk and she had cookies, and she put it on a table in front of the children. And the same time that happened, the father went off into the room with the heater, and he messed around with it. And he came back in and he said, well, I think I fixed your heater, but you need more oil. Just give me a little time and we'll take care of it. And with that, the father, his wife, and his children left the little family all bundled up in blankets. But now they had heat, and they had some milk, and they had some cookies. Well, they got home, and the father called his friend Ed. Ed, I got a situation here. I'm hoping you can help me with it. And he explained to Ed what was going on. And in the meantime, the rest of the family were rifling through their closet, pulling out clothes, finding toys, and gathering everything into bundles. Suddenly, a pickup truck pulls up in front of the house, and it's filled with pieces of furniture, all kinds of things a family would need, and most importantly, a big, big container of oil. Well, everybody piled into that pickup truck with their bundles, and they roared off, and they pulled up into front of the house, the dark house that suddenly became bright, filled with toys and clothes and warmth and giving. And all of those families had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas this year, because it was about the giving. It was about knowing that others were being taken care of, and the joy that filled everybody's heart because of that. I hope you too can find joy in giving, helping others who are in need, and not even thinking twice about it. And with that, I wish you a good day. I wish you a good night. It's almost Christmas. I'll be back tomorrow with another story. Bye-bye.